Hello, this is Lynn Modishon from Modishon's Herbals, and we're doing another Wisdom from Gran class tonight. I started these videos almost a year ago. We started them in March, and it was what I called my COVID contribution. I think that I've had a lot of fun doing these, but after a year of doing them, I'll tell you I'm struggling a little bit now with what classes to teach and what to talk about. Several of the classes that we've had through this year has been based financially in terms of we had a lot of people out of work. The supply chain was broken, and because the supply chain was broken, the prices went up on a lot of what we were buying at the stores. And so we had Meatless Mondays, which was talking about how to extend your grocery budget and still have plenty to eat and good food to eat. We talked about how to make how to make yeast because we couldn't find it. And we've done some how to make butter and how to make laundry soap. We talked this last week, we talked about baking soda. Tonight we're going to talk about vinegar. I think, if you haven't heard me talk about this before, that having some supplies on hand is a real good idea, because then if we have a storm like they had in Texas, you've got what you need in the house already. You don't have to run out to the grocery store to find what you need and hope that you got there in time while they still had it. So we talked about baking soda last week and all of the many, many different things that you could do with it. And it is you can make laundry soap with it. You can make toothpaste with it. They're good go-tos if, for whatever reason, you run out of something and you don't have the funds to replace it, or you don't want to go out in the weather to replace it. And that's what we're talking tonight about. We're continuing that with the vinegar. It is if this is a subject that you all are interested in, please, send me a note and tell me that you're interested in these kinds of old-fashioned things, so that that opens up some more ideas of what we can do for for some of these classes. I am going to reduce these classes, just as an FYI, to Wednesdays. I'll still do the full moon and the new moon, and we'll still do the sabbats, but the Wisdom from Gran is going to be, as I'm reducing it from 2 times a week to 1 time, mostly because I'm kind of running out of ideas. And it is, so Wednesdays at 7 it will be what we're doing from now on. So as we're talking about vinegar, vinegar is a sour liquid consisting of dilute and impure acetic acid obtained by fermentation from wine, cider, beer, ale, or the like. It is used as a condiment, as a preservative, as a cleaner, as a hair conditioner, as a drain unclogger. I mean, all kinds of different things. It also is one of the main ingredients in volcanoes, if you're doing science projects and you're building a volcano. If you're making wine, the sugar has to be converted to alcohol in a process known as fermentation. After the sealed bottle has been opened, or if the cork has been compromised, there is a second kind of fermentation that happens, and during this process, the alcohol is turned into acetic acid, vinegar's main compound. It has a pH of 2.4, Distilled white vinegar is a pretty strong acid and more acidic than coffee or orange juice, but still less acidic than your stomach juices, which is a good thing. There's a lot of different kinds of vinegars. Now, I've got here, this is balsamic vinegar, and I put this and olive oil together with some spices and dip my Italian bread in it. There is red wine vinegar that works good in some things like spaghetti sauce. There's apple cider vinegar, and then there's white vinegar. But there's also champagne vinegar, rice vinegar, and multitudes of others. I have some champagne vinegar around here in the house someplace, but for whatever reason, I couldn't find it. And so I couldn't show it to you what it looked like. We had a class on how to make your own apple cider vinegar. And that is, so if you look at previous videos, if you want to make your own apple cider vinegar, it's really easy to do. And all it takes is some apples, some sugar, and water. And that is, that's what it takes. So it's pretty easy to do. You have to be careful that if you're making the apple cider vinegar, that you keep it in a very dark place, because if it gets too much light when you're making it, it will actually mold. I know this to be totally true because I did not put it in the dark the first time I made it. So make sure you get it in the dark. The other thing that I want to tell you is anytime you're making anything like apple cider vinegar or fourth use vinegar or a tincture or any of that stuff, make sure that you, on the top of the mason jar, you write what it is, and then also write the date so that you know when it's going to be good. Because with tinctures and with apple cider vinegar, and we're going to make a cleaner tonight, like a counter cleaner, it takes about 4 weeks for it to sit and steep. And you would be surprised at sometimes how fast 4 weeks goes and sometimes how slow 4 weeks goes. So by putting the date on there, you're going to save yourself a lot of guesswork. The white vinegar is usually made, it's out of a laboratory-produced acetic acid combined with water. White vinegar is the most acidic, and that makes it a good potent cleaner. But also, it can be too potent, and you may need to cut it with water once you're making it into something else. So how does it work? Vinegar's acidity is what makes it such a good cleaner. Because it is so acidic, it can counteract some pretty big buildups. It can dissolve away soap scum, brines left by hard water, glue left by stickers, and it also can get rid of stubborn stains. A paste of vinegar and baking soda can dissolve set red wine stains. Hydrogen peroxide also will do that for red wine stains. It can get cat or dog urine out of carpets or other clothes. And as an added bonus, the smell can dissuade pets from doing it again in the same spots. Because it is so strong, though, it can stain delicate fabrics, can scratch marble or granite, and it is also iffy as a disinfectant. It has not been approved for this by the Centers of Disease Control Prevention. So don't think as you're cleaning, you're not disinfecting. If you want to disinfect, you would add something like tea tree essential oil. That would help disinfect. So, this is going to be a quick class tonight. Good uses for vinegar are for persistent room odors. You can place a bowl of vinegar in the room overnight. For spills on carpet, use a sponge to soak up as much of the liquid and then spray with a mixture of half vinegar and half water and let it stand for about 2 minutes and then blot it up. For persistent stains, use a mixture of 1 teaspoon vinegar, 1 teaspoon liquid dish soap, and 1 cup warm water. And do the same thing. Spray it on your stain, let it sit for 2 minutes, and then blotted up. To clean windows, you can use a spray of half vinegar and half water and wipe clean with either newspapers or cloth. To clean silver, pewter, copper, or brass, dissolve 1 teaspoon of salt into 1 cup of vinegar. Add flour to create a paste, about a quarter cup, and then apply the paste to the metal item. Let it stand for 15 minutes and then rinse with warm water and polish with a soft cloth. I just was gifted a whole lot of brass, so guess what I'm going to be doing? No wax floors can be cleaned with a solution of 1 cup of vinegar per gallon of water. You can use as a rinse in your dishwasher or in your washing machine to cut down on the soap scum and hard water marks. To remove corrosion or chemical buildup from shower heads, you can soak it in vinegar overnight. And you can spray your shower walls and shower curtain with vinegar to help prevent mildew. It will keep ants away if you just spray straight vinegar wherever your ants are coming. And for a clogged drain, this is kind of a fun one. It is, you pour a half a cup of baking soda down the drain and then add a half a cup of vinegar. It will start bubbling and make quite a fun thing to watch, most particularly if you have kids. When the bubbling stops, rinse with warm water. Now, if it's a real solid clog, you may have to do it a couple times. And garbage disposals do not react well to this cleaning method, and so if you have a garbage disposal, you don't want to use it during that drain. The other thing that you can do is with the drain cleaner, or the drain cleaner, you can put some essential oils like peppermint or lemon, and that will help the pipes smell better as well. It also hides the scent of the vinegar. So those are some of the reasons that you would use the vinegar and have it. Now I've got some other recipes here that I want to give you, and I'll write these on this underneath the video tomorrow. If you have wood paneling or a wood floor, to clean the wood paneling, the mixture is 1/2 cup olive oil, 1/2 cup vinegar, and 2 cups warm water. Apply with a soft cloth and dry with clean cloth. You can if you have a washing machine that has an area to put fabric softener in, you can put vinegar in that fabric softener, and it will clear out any soap buildup in your wash. So again, I've got the recipe here for apple cider vinegar and also for Four Thieves vinegar. You can, I'll put those up again, but they're also on a video as well if you want to see that. Now, vinegar is also used for cooking and salad dressings. If you are interested in making your own salad dressing, you can infuse herbs or flowers, depending upon what flour you're checking with, into vinegar and into the oil, and then you have an oil and vinaigrette that you can do. So I had some made with cedar, and boy, let me tell you, that was really good. I really liked that. It is, but any herbs that you would generally use. You could use Italian herbs and make your own Italian vinaigrette. It's not a bad idea to have a couple gallons of the vinegar. Now, the other thing that vinegar works well with is weed control. So I've been fighting for about the past 2 years blackberry. The blackberries have just taken over my yard. And if I cut the blackberries all the way down to the ground and then I spray vinegar on them, it stops, doesn't totally stop, but it definitely slows down the regrowth of the blackberries. And this is not going to ruin your ground. It is not going to cause cancer. It's just a real good, clean way to clear out some of those weeds. Now, one more thing that you can use vinegar for is conditioner, hair conditioner. So if you run out of conditioner, you want to use the apple cider vinegar. And in an old conditioner bottle, combine 1 part apple cider vinegar with 3 parts water. Add essential oils if you are interested. And then after rinsing your shampoo out of your hair, then you're going to pour the apple cider vinegar solution onto your hair. Allow it to sit for a couple minutes and then rinse thoroughly. The effectiveness of this vinegar hair wash is it helps your hair grow, and it helps it get a little bit thicker because it stimulates the tiny blood vessels in your scalp and gives you increased blood flow. This leads to better supply of nutrients to the hair follicles, and they get stronger and lead to healthier hair. It also can gently lighten your hair, just like lemon juice does. But part of that is because it is dissolving all of the oil and residue buildup from your hair and your scalp. It helps detangle and defrizz your hair. You have to be careful, though, if you color your hair, because if you do permanent color on your hair, it can mess with the permanent color. So that's not a good, I wouldn't use it in that event. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make some cleaner right now. And so what I've got, and this is the easiest, again, one of the easiest things in the world to do. I've got a mason jar. This is a pint jar, okay? And inside it are orange skins. So now we're going to eat the oranges anyway, so we save the skins, put them in the jar, and then what we're going to do is simply pour the vinegar into pretty close to the top. We're going to put the lid on it, and then I'm going to go find a Sharpie, which I don't have right here to hand, and I'm going to date it and tell you what's in it, because I have got a ton of jars that are just right over there with all kinds of herbs and in oils and in vinegars and in vodka for tinctures. And then we're going to let this sit for 4 weeks. In 4 weeks' time, I'm going to take out the orange rinds, and then I'm going to pour it into a squeeze bottle or a spray bottle. And this will be just like an orange-scented 409 or any other general cleaner that you do use on your countertops or windows or whatever. And it's going to smell really good too because of the orange in there. I hope that this was interesting for you, and I will be back on Saturday at 6 o'clock for the full moon, and we will, and then again on Wednesday for the next Wisdom from Gran. Thank you so very much for joining me, and hopefully I will see you soon. Take care.